Hi everyone, Linda Heldman here for Canadian Beats. I am here at Google in downtown Toronto, which is really exciting because it's my first time here. And I'm speaking with Raunaq.
Hi Linda.
Hi Raunaq, thanks for joining me today. So why were we all invited here today to Google?
So you were all invited here to Google to be introduced to the newest member of the Google Home family that's about to launch in Canada. That's Google Home Max, which is a premium smart speaker for the home.
Cool. I've been wandering around a few rooms, and there's been one in each one, and it's amazing what these things can do.
Yeah. First of all, they play music, and they play music really, really well because the hardware and the software that's gone into it has taken a lot of refinement. But they're also a smart speaker, which means that you can actually speak to them and ask them not only to play music, but also what the weather is, what your commute is like, ask for a news or a podcast, and also use it to turn on or off your smart lights if you have them, or play content on your TV.
Mm-hmm. And I was speaking with one gentleman in the one room, and I said, okay, so I have Google Calendar on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Can I link into that? Can it tell me when I have, because right now I put notifications on my phone and my email, and apparently it will talk to me and say, hey Linda, you have an appointment at such and such a time.
So with Google Home, we're very respectful of the home environment, so we don't want a speaker in the home speaking out your calendar appointments. And so what we allow you to do, however, is actually always ask. The assistant is always there to help. So if you're not sure about when your next meeting is or when your first meeting that tomorrow is, you can always ask the assistant about it, and the assistant will tell you if it's connected to your Google account.
Okay. So if I say what's on my schedule for today, it'll list it off.
Absolutely.
Which is really cool. That's what I need. But I need those reminders, because I tend to get a little too involved in my computer, and next thing I have an appointment and I'm supposed to leave, and my poor chiropractor calls me. It's like, are you on your way? And I'm going, I'm not going to make it there on time.
and the great thing about the Google Assistant is it's the same assistant that you use on your smart speaker, but it's also the assistant that you use on your phone. And so when you make a reminder on Google Home, it'll of course remind you on Google Home, but it'll also send a notification to your phone and any other Google Assistant device.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very convenient to see.
Now, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Now, will this work away from home? Can I do something on my phone and say, hey, Google, turn on the lights, or turn off the lights?
Absolutely. So again, it's connected to the same Google Assistant. So if you've connected your Google Assistant to your smart lights, you can control them via the Google Assistant on your phone or on Google Home itself. The other thing that you can do that is a feature that I really like, which is what we call broadcast. And if you're coming home and you want to tell people you're coming home, you can actually tell your Google Assistant on your phone to broadcast that you're coming home, and then that message will be played out on your speaker at home. So
Nice,
yeah.
Nice.
So all of the devices that have the Google Assistant actually work really well together.
Nice. I was in the one room and I kind of, for some reason, had this flashback to, wow, I wonder what my grandparents would think of this. It's everybody who was alive in the mid-'80s watched Back to the Future. And it's funny because I think one of my radio people up north said something about, so where are the hoverboards? But it's something that a couple of generations ago would just be in awe.
Yeah, and I think I've given Google Home devices to my parents, and they have taken it to it like a fish to water, because using voice is such a natural way to interact with technology. There's nothing really new to learn. And so while they may have struggled with some other forms of tech that I've given them, they've been really, really quick to adopt Google Home. That's what they use to call me. They use that to play their favorite news stations in the morning, and also to play YouTube videos on their TV. And so because voice comes so natural to everyone, it's great for everyone in the family.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I love the size of it. There's the Google Minis, and we're all familiar with the size of that, and then there's the slightly larger one. This is, there it is over there. it's about the size of one of those plastic shoe boxes that you get at Canadian Tire. It's not that big, really. It's bigger than the other two, but it's just amazing the sound that comes out of these speakers.
Yeah, so we've taken a lot of time to actually optimize the sound that comes out of it. It is, for the size, the sound output is amazing. It's 20 times more powerful than the regular Google Home. And what we've done is we've actually have real premium components in Google Home Max. So we have two 4.5-inch woofers with a lot of excursion, 22 millimeters of excursion, which really for a speaker that size is a lot of excursion. And that gives you really a wide range of low frequencies, so really, really clear and good bass. We also have two tweeters for those real crystal clear highs. And the entire enclosure is acoustically sealed, which means that it's rigid and there's very little vibration, which means that really what you're hearing is the sound you're hearing is really coming from the drivers. And so there's very little distortion. And the last thing that we've done with Google Home Max is, outside of the awesome hardware and the acoustic design that goes into the speaker, we have actually also combined that with our machine learning and artificial intelligence experience. What we do is we have microphones on Google Home Max, and we use those microphones in the speaker to sense the acoustic environment where the speaker is placed. And so if you place your speaker next to a wall, what often happens is that the sound waves reflect back against the wall, and that actually causes a lot of, like, maybe 2 or 3 times the expected bass response. So it actually muddies up the overall sound. It sounds a little bit distorted. It overwhelms the vocals. It overwhelms some instruments. And what we're able to do is we're able to detect that ahead of time and apply corrective filters to actually prevent that distortion from happening in the first place. So no matter where you place it, whether you place it in your living room, in your bedroom, in your basement, it's able to automatically adapt to the surroundings and actually make sure that you always get sort of acoustically what the artist intended. So, really, really true musical output. So instruments sound like instruments, vocals sound like vocals, and there's no distortion.
I love it. It's great. It hooks up to, basically with this, I could replace my stereo because it will play tuned in, it will play Spotify, it will play, it'll control the TV,
Absolutely.
all this stuff. And it's so compact. It's like, I want to get one and get rid of my speakers.
and you can connect it to, so there's a 3.5 millimeter audio input, so you can actually connect maybe a record player that you might have, a CD player you might have directly into it. So the sound is coming directly out of Google Home Max. It also works with Bluetooth, so if you have any songs on your phone, you can easily connect your phone to Google Home Max via Bluetooth. So no matter how you want to listen to your music, Google Home Max is able to support that.
So we've talked a lot about the features of this. Why would someone want this in their home?
So I think there's a couple of reasons. I think first, it sounds great. And it really it makes premium sounding sound accessible to everyone. So it's very easy to set up. All you have to do is plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. And then you can play music from Spotify, from Google Play Music, just using your voice. It's also a really great way to get the power of the Google Assistant into homes. And so you can ask it for many things like weather, your commute, turning on or off lights. And so it's such a versatile piece of technology. And lastly, it looks good. So it really fits into pretty much any home decor. It comes in 2 colors, charcoal and chalk, and it works in both orientations, so both from a landscape perspective or horizontal and vertical. And so it really fits into any aesthetic in users' homes.
Great. And price point for this, what's the suggested retail?
It's $499 Canadian, and it'll be available from the Google Store and Best Buy Canada.
Okay, great. And when is the launch date for this?
May 16th.
Okay, perfect. That's not too far away. Awesome. Thank you so much, Raunaq, for your time and telling us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Okay. And I'm Linda Hellman from Canadian Music Week in Toronto for Canadian Beats.